theological standpoint, I mean, going back to the beginning,
Right.
Adam and Eve have trouble with the temptation in the garden, and Adam pretty much passively lets negative things happen. And I know there's times where I just kind of let my family drift. I'm not really in charge, but God wants me to step up. Talk about the theology of why men should get together, why they should be discipling one another, how it makes sense to have groups get together to spur men's ministry to touch the whole church.
Yeah, this is really a key point, because if we don't have this kind of mindset, I would say looking at it from God's design, what did God have in mind when he created man? Well, he created man to, serve others. He created man, we talk about Jesus and his bride, sacrifice himself for his bride. He created men to lead out, to step up. Well, a lot of guys have a tendency to kind of give away some of that responsibility. Just like you said, I have the same tendency. I've got multiple things on my plate. If someone's willing to take something off my plate, like my local church, I'm willing to give it to them. But the local church can't do what I can do. It can't replace me. We've got to stop thinking that what we're doing for men is really serving the family. We've got to begin building into men with others in mind. See, a lot of our men's events, we think of them as men's events, getting men healthy, get them in. Okay, yeah, it's way more than that. It's getting men engaged for the sake of others. You've got to see, when I see Jeff in a men's event, I'm immediately thinking, okay, Jeff, wife, children. So I immediately see more than just Jeff. I mean, when I'm building into a group of 500 guys, I know that there's probably 2,000 people represented in the room that have direct contact on a daily basis with that man. We've got to begin seeing men that way. When we begin seeing men that way, they'll begin responding that way. But right now, they know how they're seen. They're seen as individuals, and if they stand aside and go on the sideline, no one really cares, and consequently, we get those kind of responses.
There's something I've experienced that really resonates in men's hearts, Brian, and I was just speaking at an Iron Sharpen Iron event this last week, and a lot of the guys responded when I said, we've been trained to be consumers, to wait for things to come to us, to experience church for our benefit. But when I said that God made us to be investors, not consumers, it resonated with the guys. You think about do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but with humility of mind, consider others more important than yourself. Serve them like Jesus did, who laid down his life. I think we need to call men up to being investors rather than consumers. And this whole area of leadership in men's events and then men's discipleship and men's outreach on behalf of the whole church is saying, hey, let's be men built for others. Let's be investors. So really, that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
It is. And also think about the culture we live in right now. We're talking about building into men with others in mind. We live in a very professional culture.
Yeah.
Professional. I mean, everybody gets paid for doing something because they have expertise. As a father, I write checks to maybe a school. I maybe write checks to a sports, write checks to piano teachers, write checks for different things, because I'm paying people to do something that they're a little better, maybe much better at than I. And I appreciate it, and we compensate them for doing it. Well, thus we come to church. And there is we're not going to talk about it this way, but there's a little bit of this going on. Even if it's just subconscious, it's there. And we're writing checks, and we're expecting people to get it done.